just kind of make things up. And the truth is, it's fun for us, and I hope it's fun for y'all. And I love that. I think when we have things planned out and ordered, and this isn't just a cop out, although I guess it could be used that way. I don't know. I just think in moments like this, God is speaking to me. And I think sometimes my tendency is to want to have everything ordered and planned and leave no room for God to move. And so, anyway, the song I want to sing for you guys next is one that is pretty dear to my heart, in all honesty, just because. What am I tuning this to? 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, y'all know you like me. I'm about to turn the corner of like, oh, that's funny too. Oh, that's really irritating. That's it. That's it. Has that time already passed? Okay. My brother, who's a dear soul, he's 4 years older than I am, and is one of the most genuine human beings you'll ever meet. And we could not be more different on so many different levels. He likes to hunt and kill a lot of things, and although I grew up doing a good bit of that, I'm not opposed. It is like in his blood. And so, and he lives in South Georgia. And if you've never met anybody from South Georgia, you would know the minute you met them that they're from South Georgia. And all that said, my brother was married, the first one married. He's the oldest in our family. Was the first one married, and he found himself. Well, to make a long story short, I could kind of do this like this, couldn't I? But to make a long story short, my brother fell into a long, many year struggle with prescription drug abuse. And he was a very successful businessman, had done very well for himself, and was a workaholic and all of those things. In the meantime, had 3 kids and went through recovery at one point in his life and was sober and clean for, I guess, 3 or 4 years and did an amazing thing, but then went right back into his field, his profession, and it just slowly started happening again. And this last time, it was a pretty treacherous thing. My brother nearly lost his life, but most definitely nearly lost his family. And the gift of I guess the gift of this song to me, it's a song that I wrote for my brother because he called me one morning early, and he just said, Bebo, I said, how'd you sleep? And he said, I slept fine, but he said he started crying. He said, if I'm honest with you, I prayed last night before I went to sleep that I wouldn't wake up. And if you knew my brother and the life that he brings into a room, and then you knew what drugs had stolen from him, it was as difficult a thing I've ever experienced in my life. And I had this memory, this back in my mind, it popped into my mind, this idea of back when I used to go on backpacking trips. We used to go up to this place on the Continental Divide called the Window, and you could literally, well, it's just a beautiful place. And I had this one particular morning where I climbed up there before all the folks that I was taking out leading on the trail. I got up and I went, and if you lined yourself up just perfectly, the Window was this big long cliff, but right in the middle of the cliff there was this perfect square that had been broken out of it and fell down. I'm talking hundreds of feet of cliffs that had just collapsed, and all the other cliffs were still there. And if you angled yourself in just the right spot, you could watch the sun rise through that window. We called it the Window. And you could watch the sunrise through that window. And to be honest with you guys, it was one of the more beautiful things I'll ever see in my life. It was stunning. And I remember sitting there in that moment and thinking, praying to God, I was just like, God, if you, this is it. This is the picture of what redemption looks like. This rock face fell, it broke, it fell apart. And then you, in your, however you ordained this before time, set this up that if you sit in the right spot, then you can see the sunset rise through it, and it's this beautiful thing. And then it was a strange moment where I'm sitting there and I'm marveling at that, at what redemption looks like, and that God created this beauty before me. And then it's almost like God sort of turned the tables on me, and he said, forget all the things you're seeing around you. You, little broken, tiny man over on the other side of the Continental Divide, you are my picture of redemption. You are my picture of what beauty looks like. It's not all these things. You are it. And I thought for my brother in his deepest, darkest moment that morning, and I told him this, you are still God's prized creation. You are. And he wants redemption. You are his. My brother loves the Lord. It's just been this long battle for him. And so I wrote this song based out of our conversation, and just became something that was very special for me. And I'd love to sing it for you now. It's a song called God of My Everything. Oh, God of heaven, come and hem me in. Gather the pieces that are broken. Show me the wonder of you again. Oh, God of heaven. 'Cause God of my hope, God of my need, God of my pain that no one else will ever see, God of my healing, God of my strength, God who is always and will forever reign, God of my everything. In all the beauty that you have made, in all the wonder that this world displays, still I'm the one for whom your heart aches. In all creation, so God of my